guys, and welcome back to another karting video. We are at Hull Karting once again for their Wednesday open night race. Absolutely love these races, and what a race this is. We've got the usual suspects here: Jack, Tyler, Eddie, Billy and some others. And yeah, what a race this is, guys. Make sure you stick around for all of this. Me and Tyler have such a great battle as we are about to get underway, and we're trying to get straight into the middle there. Didn't quite happen, so we got into 5th place immediately, and we're going to try and hang it around the outside of this corner, try and maintain 4th if we can. We're going to hang it around the outside now to get the inside for the next corner, which we managed to do. And now we're just going narrow here, blocking off that inside line, and managed to maintain our position. So now this is just a case of getting our heads down and keeping with this leading pack. The pace with these guys is absolutely insane, but we do manage to keep up with them to a certain extent. As Tyler gets all out of shape going into here, allows us the inside line, but can we get the drive out now? I'm not sure if we can. He is too far ahead. We have to concede the position, and he maintains his 3rd position, but already fighting for a 3rd place on the opening lap, which is great. Carrying a bit more speed now than Tyler in front of us, but you could just see that little battle that we had even on the first lap has allowed 1st and 2nd to kind of gap us a little bit. But now just kind of concentrating as he goes a little bit wide. There is a puddle there on the left, so everybody kind of taking a bit of a shallower line there, just making sure their tyres are not getting wet. So just concentrating now and making sure I can stick with Tyler and see if we can take this 3rd position. So the heads down, the human DRS is deployed. I was kind of giving it everything I really wanted to try and get up into a podium position on one of these races. Definitely improved here as Tyler goes a little bit wide there, allows me the inside again, but I had to concede. He's got a bit of a better drive out than I originally thought. So settling back into 4th again, and now just trying to follow his lines and seeing where we are stronger on the track to make our overtake later on in the race. And you can see here on the braking zone, really closing up to him now. As we mentioned in previous videos, very, very strong in that area. Goes a little bit wide there, a little bit of water went on his tyres, I think, so slight grip potentially compromised, but not too bad at this stage, as he gets a little bit out of shape there, still on these cold tyres. And my kart was actually performing quite well on these cold tyres, so I was pretty comfortable with it. As we carrying on quite a lot of speed now, force him into a narrower line through there to allow us a nice wide line and carry more momentum down into this next lap and shaping up a move into the heavy braking zone potentially. So around here, get a nice drive through here as well. We're carrying a lot of speed now compared to Tyler in front. We're going to dive down the inside, late on the brakes. We managed to get alongside him, go for a switch back there. We managed to get it up into 3rd position. Can we hold it? We had to give him the racing room on the inside. We don't quite get it. We're going into the water. Managed to dodge that and going again for another good drive out down to the middle hairpin. Can I get anything done here? We are quite close, but I don't think it's going to be close enough. But he does make a mistake. He goes deep into the corner. We're side by side. Halfway through this lap, going down to the left-hander. But unfortunately the drive out that I had just was not good enough. He goes narrower again. We try and get through, but he parks it on the apex and we just cannot get by on this lap. But what a great way to start this race already. And you can see once we go across the line here, we are into a 53.17 there. So we lost about 1.5 seconds there because of that battling. So we've just got to be conscious of the guy behind us as well in 5th position. As now we go into this heavy braking zone again, you can see just how much time we are gaining there. So we're definitely stronger than Tyler ahead of us, and that could shape up to be another overtaking opportunity later in the race. So we get a nice drive out of here, and we are managing to stick with Tyler at the minute. The leaders 1st and 2nd place, Jack and Eddie, have kind of left us at the minute, but this battle here was so much fun that I just wanted to kind of fight for this 3rd position rather than trying to gain on 1st and 2nd. But yeah, as we come down to now what will be the start of the 6th lap, we're going to see what we can do here, chasing down Tyler. So we can see again back into the 51s without any kind of overtaking attempts. So absolutely crazy pace that we've got as we're approaching the back marker already on lap 6. Can we get by? And Tyler's going to get held up a little bit, is he? Not too bad. We do accidentally push him wide. He does get a bit of water on his tyres and goes a bit wide. He allows us to go down the outside of him and can't quite get the drive out and make anything stick, but as he goes into here, he does manage to keep the car nice and composed even with that little bit of water on his tyres and get a good drive out of here. But as we come around here, we are gaining. He does take the defensive line and allows us to get alongside him once again, but I'm not sure if we can get anything done here, as if you just saw as well, there is 5th place behind us now as well, so I've got to now worry about defending against this as well. But I did feel we have a bit more pace than the guy in 5th, so try to pull away just a little bit so we don't make any overtaking moves into this heavy braking zone this time. But Tyler does go wide there. It allows us to kind of get up the inside here. Not quite, but he goes wide again into the water this time there, which is going to allow us to sneak down the inside as he slides wide because of the water on his tyres, and that has moved us up into 3rd position. And we just need to now concentrate and try and pull away as much as we can from Tyler. He is incredibly quick and consistent, so it's not somebody that you want behind you in one of these races. But just trying to do my best now, as you see me there pointing forward, kind of wanting to work together to try and catch up to 1st and 2nd position if we could do so. I felt like I had a bit more pace than Tyler, as you saw me closing in on him a few times on the previous lap, so I thought now that I'm in front, let's see what we can do and see if we can close into the 1st and 2nd positions. But you can now see my car just bouncing around these corners, just turned into some kind of space hopper halfway through. Get a little bit of water on my tyres there as well, I had to correct that. Just having a good look behind and seeing if Tyler was still there, and now just a case of doing as much as I can to either pull away from Tyler and close into 1st and 2nd. And you can just see them going around the hairpin now, so they're probably about 3 or 4 seconds ahead at this point. But we've put in some great laps so far, and we are currently on a 51.87, so we're going to come across the line now and see what that is. That is a 51.8, so consistency is definitely there as well. A lot easier when you've got someone like Tyler behind you, knowing that you've got to keep this pace up as well. But you can see going around there, my car has now turned into some kind of space hopper, just bumping and bouncing around that corner. And for some reason, about halfway through this race, it just started doing this skipping and bouncing in the rear. I'm not too sure why, but it was losing me quite a lot of time. So you see there, I had to go defensive because of that. Coming off this, you can see Tyler there just on the left. He's getting a good drive out. He's alongside me now. I had to go a little bit wide, giving the racing room, but we do manage to keep the inside for this next right-hander. But you can see the kart bouncing up and down again, but I think he didn't get too great a exit either. So as we come up to the start-finish line in a second, you'll see just how much time that we've lost from that bouncing and that skipping in the rear. So at 52.67, so 0.8 of a second lost because of that. But we just had to kind of maintain this. Now we knew that the kart was doing that, so we had to adapt and see if we could change anything about our driving or our technique. And we're going to skip ahead now onto the next lap, and this is actually my new PB as well. So coming down into this heavy braking zone, really trail braking this in. You can see a lot of speed carried through there. Now the power on all the way around here, keeping the power on, and coming into here, dodging the puddle, getting it back over to the left a bit to open up this corner, and then full speed down here up to the other heavy braking zone for the hairpin. Sharp on the brakes, get it turned in, hit the apex as good as you can, and out wide into the barrier. The head goes down for a bit of human DRS, and nice and close to the apex on the left there. And coming round here again, take a nice wide line, get the power on as early as you can. I did think I was going to catch this back marker here, but managed to squeeze by and don't lose any speed at all there. And then across the line, which gives us the 51.41, which is my PB. And if you just notice there on the right hand side, there was actually a red flag as we crossed the line. I kind of clocked the marshal waving the flag, but it was faced into the track, into the hairpin, so I assumed it was a yellow flag. I just saw it out my eye corner, so I got quite a bit down the road before I actually noticed this marshal in front of us. So just going to skip ahead now from that red light, and we did just let Tyler catch us up. So you can see me looking behind there, making sure he's caught us up to where he was before the red flag, just so it's a nice fair race. And we can resume this great battle that we had going on as well. So coming around here, we're at lap 12 of 20, but we are just going to skip forward now to lap 16. Wasn't really much that happened during those laps there, so you can see still on the consistent pace with a 51.8. And now we are coming actually up to the leaders that have got held behind a couple of back markers as well, so we're quite close now with the 5 remaining laps to go. We've got to deal with this back marker first though, so we're coming down and we're going to try and get down the inside of this first corner, but he just turns in on us and we had to slam on the brakes, and massive bit of oversteer, a lot of time lost now to Tyler behind us, and you can see we've got one more back marker in front of us and then the leaders are there as well. So this is shaping up to be quite an interesting end to this race, as that back marker goes really wide, comes across the track, do accidentally tap him there, and again just have to hold my hand out and apologise for that one to him. But now we do have some clear track and getting our heads down to see if we can catch up to these leaders. And you can see again, previous lap of 51.5, so the pace tonight has been really fast considering my PB is a 51.4. It's quite good that I've got quite a few laps in this session within a tenth or two of that. Usually these top 3 guys are well down the road, so it's nice to see that we've been improving quite a lot around here and being able to somewhat keep up with the usual leaders of these competitive nights as well. So as you can see now, coming up to another back marker roughly in the same areas as the previous lap, and we're going to come around here. He gets a bit out of shape and a bit wild. We do tap him and nearly spin the kart, and that allows Tyler to go through with only 3 laps remaining. He does give me the thumbs up just to check if he's happy with kind of overtaking there, I think that was. But yeah, I mean, nothing that he's done and nothing could have prevented that really. So yeah, all fair game there. So trying to take a nice wide line around here, trying to get a drive out of here, see if I can get around him on the right corner. So he does put his hand up, there is another red flag. So we come to a control stop here, but just creep forward just to maintain the gap that we had before the red flag came out. And yeah, if you got this far in the video, it'd be awesome if you would consider subscribing and dropping a like on the video. There's a lot more content like this on the channel and will be this year as well. But back to the video, you can just hear us chatting there. I was just apologising for missing the first red flag. Everything was all good, and now we are underway once more with only 2 laps remaining, so 19 out of 20. And let's see what we can do here. Can we get back this podium position from Tyler? He goes defensive down into turn 4, which allows us to catch up quite a lot. We're right on his bumper now, and you can see even first and second place is not too far ahead of us either. So the last third of this race has been really good for us. We've been really strong on the pace and have managed to catch up to these leaders. So now it's just a final fight as Tyler goes a little bit wide there. He's sliding, he's getting his head down to try and pull away from me. I think he felt a little tap in the back there, but there is now a back marker between us. Is this going to get in the way of us? We managed just to squeeze down the right hand side there of, I think it's actually Billy there, one of the marshals at the track, and he does let us go, so just put my thumbs up to him down here. But we have lost a little bit of distance now to Tyler in front, so we really need to close up now. This is the final lap of the race. See if we can do any deep dive lunges down here, but he goes semi-defensive, but you can see again just closing up in that braking zone once more, and we are actually gaining slightly on the leaders. I don't know if it's going to be enough though, and we are coming round here. We get a good exit. This is quite a solid lap so far. Tyler's looking over his shoulder, and we take this very nicely, getting the head down immediately, trying to do everything that we can to try and keep up with Tyler and get this third position back. He goes a little bit sliding around there, he goes defensive there. We go back to the racing line. We've got a really nice drive out, but we have to let off the throttle so we didn't tap him and lose any more momentum. That unfortunately is going to be the end of the race and 4th position, so just losing out on 3rd position 3 laps before the end. But yeah, what a brilliant race between myself and Tyler. You know, every credit to Tyler as well. That was absolutely brilliant racing from him. Really enjoyable battle. And also congrats to 1st and 2nd Jack and Eddie. Another amazing performance by them guys, as it is every single time we come here. But yeah, that will conclude the video. We're just heading into the pits now, and if you like that video, consider subscribing and liking this channel, or even dropping a comment and let me know what your favourite bit of the race was. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.